And there it is. We are here. It is NFL season. I got to tell you, every year I'm like, I'm not so excited about NFL. The Saturday night before the main slate hits, I'm all in. I'm all in. Football is life. What is golf? What is college football? I'm all in and do this every year. I don't know why I play like it's anything other than just raw excitement. The big guy's pumped. All right, I better turn the fan on. The fat kid's already getting toasty. I'm so damn excited. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a DFS content creator who is here to help you get a little bit better at DFS, specifically NFL, college football, and PGA. Yeah, I'm not going to do that with picks and plays. I know, that's what you click. I need picks and plays because, I don't have time to research this shit, and I just want some dumbass on YouTube to give me picks and plays. Well, you found the wrong place, pal. I'm here to help you with another P called process. If that sounds interesting and you want to learn how to actually take care of yourself and wipe your own ass and not have somebody spoon feed you, you might have just found the right place. So hang around for about the next 30, 45 minutes. Throw a question in the chat and be eligible to win 5 $100 giveaways tonight. If you find you really like the cut of my jib, well, I'll be live all fall. You'll get tired of seeing this chubby face. Check out that schedule right there. Every Monday and Thursday, I'm doing the Touchdown Hoedown right there for Showdown for Monday night and Thursday night football. Of course, I do my college football show on Friday and my golf show on Wednesday, 7 o'clock, Lord's time zone. And then every Saturday for the rest of the year, for the rest of the NFL year, this right now, the Touchdown Hoedown will be live. Yes, I will be doing giveaways. I'm not a poor, and I have a lot of people that like to sponsor my giveaways, so be here. And starting this Tuesday, me and my boy Tambo are going to be doing a first look show every Tuesday. So be looking out for that on this station and on Ship It Nation station. I don't have a cool graphic, but what I do have a cool graphic for is those giveaways. Yes, I'm going to be giving them away. Thank you for all of you that liked and retweeted. Thank you for all of you that left comments on YouTube. You will be in the drawing. And of course, if you're here live, you will also be in the drawing over here. So make sure to hop in there. All right. Every 100 likes I get, I'll give away another ticket. All right. Another ticket. If you get enough likes, I'll just give it all away. Not a pour. Let's get going. No time to waste. Contest selection tomorrow. Here's what you always need to know about week 1 of NFL. Always be on overlay alert, right? DraftKings, FanDuel, they know what they're doing. They are going to make the biggest prizes ever just to try to draw in new people, right? It is a business, and they're trying to draw people in, and it's almost as though they are willing to take a loss on week 1 because they know they will get a certain percentage of those people addicted, and then they'll be getting those people to pay rake all year. So if there's ever a week to get a little belligerent, it's probably week 1 for 2 reasons. One, the edge is real because everybody's guessing, right? There's no great projections, but the real reason is there is a very, very good chance there will be some overlays tomorrow, right? Between FanDuel and DraftKings, you need to be watching these, right? I haven't done the math on this $5, but look, I mean, it still has almost 500,000 more to fill, and we're like 16, 17 hours away from lock. So I think that's a real chance. If that doesn't get to 1 million people, they've already guaranteed 5 million in the prize pool. So not only are you not paying rake, you are also going to be getting an overlay. So be watching out for that. And if you want a little pro tip, the biggest overlays almost always happen on the things that people don't think about, right? Satellites and qualifiers tend to have huge overlays on week 1. Another one that no one ever thinks about, 50-50s and double up. I legit played in some 50-50s today where I have to beat like 3 people out of 100 to double up my money, right? But another one that no one ever thinks of that overlays all the time is tiers. Don't forget about the tiers tomorrow, okay? Because they have some pretty big contests over there, and if people just forget that this format even exists, right? Look, the big one right now, not even 40% of the way full. And this is not a bad payout structure over here, right? And I don't really give a shit about the payout structure if it's an overlay because they're going to put more money out there than people are playing. I'm in, right? So be on overlay alert tomorrow, okay? That is the best advice I could give you. The second best advice I could give you is this. Play a condensed number of lineups. Unless you're a very experienced player at playing 150, don't do it. Play 1 lineup, play 3 lineups, play 5 lineups, play 10 lineups, at max play 20. And this is the best advice I could ever give you. Be consolidated, okay? Really narrow down. If you're playing 20 lineups, you should legit be playing at max 1 or 2 stacks. That's it, right? A stack is your quarterback and usually 1 or 2 of his pass catchers, right? That is a stack. And you only want to be playing 1 or 2 of those because if you were really playing NFL DFS right and you know what it takes to win, you know this. You are looking for one big spike week all year where you take all the monies. Maybe you have a good year and you have 5 or 6 break-even weeks, right? But most weeks you are going to lose and you're going to get kicked in the dick hard. So the one time that you're going to cash in, you need to make sure that you have the most bullets in your gun to cash in, right? And you're going to do that by, let's say, whatever stack you love this week, you take that stack and you get all in on it, right? You commit to that stack and you go with it. So if that stack hits, you now have multiple chances for that stack to be successful, because not only do you need your stack to hit, you're usually going to need a run back to hit. You're also going to need a secondary correlation, and you're going to need your one-off pieces to hit. So if you're running 20 lineups and you're running 10 different stacks, that's literally impossible. Just go play a fucking scratch off at 7-11 because you have no chance, okay? So do it. Commit to it. Consolidate your player pool, especially consolidate your stacks. Quit trying to play 150 lineups unless you are a seasoned veteran at making that many lineups and spreading your exposure, and really focus on a tighter number of lineups, a tighter player pool, and get into contests that are good structured. Quit playing in contests that always have 100,000 people in it. Quit playing in contests that have 1.1 million people. You're not going to beat them unless there's an overlay. Then you'll beat them. Okay, go play in some $150 three maxes or $5 three maxes or 50-cent three maxes, whatever your budget is. But make sure you are getting in contests where you're max entering, where you're not entering one lineup and some other ass clown's entering 150, okay? Don't let them have leverage on you like that. That is contest selection. There's so many good contests, I'm not even going to dive into them, all right? Just follow those rules, do those things, get into contests where first place is always around 10%, and you will always be in a good place, because when first place is 10%, almost all that money is going to go to the top 10. But of course, the one contest you should definitely be in is mine, you motherfather. Go get it. Look, it's almost full. I think I need to make this bad boy bigger. The show's not even on. It's already 85% of the way full. You better go grab it. $5 three max, flat payout structure, reduced rake, and a great community. Get in there. Get in there now, you motherfather. All right, what's the first thing we always check, new guy? Oh, wait, this ain't PGA. It's weather. Look, if you're not considering weather, you're being kind of a donkey, because it has been empirically proven that weather, wind, rain, snow, things of these nature can impact fantasy scoring by upwards of 5 to 10%, depending on the severity of the weather. So to not factor that in, just face it, you're being a donkey dick. You're like those guys at PGA, like, I don't care about no weather. All right, well, thank you for your money, dude. You can see most of the places look good, but there is a chance that in Pittsburgh, there is a chance of showers. That's already two sloggy teams. You throw in a little rain, there might not be a single forward pass. They're going to go back to 1927 in that game. Washington and the Cardinals, two teams, well, one team that's putrid and one team that everybody thinks is good, but it's also putrid. They're likely to have showers. Baltimore is likely to have showers, which probably means they're going to run the ball more. And, like, by the way, if you haven't been watching college football today, something about the East Coast is just like a monsoon right now. I don't know what's going on over there. El Nino, I don't know. Hurricanes, I don't know. I live in the middle of the country. What the hell's water? Okay, so from there, and then the Broncos look like they could get some showers, and so do the Patriots. Right? And then, we got thunderstorms and L.A., but I'm pretty sure they play inside, so I think they're going to be okay. And the Giants, well, that's a nighttime game, so fuck them, okay? The point being is I would be checking the weather in the morning, because, like, if you're on the fence about a stack, like, let's say you want to get cute this week and you want to play a Kenny Pickett stack, right? Well, if you know that it's going to be raining the whole game, and he's already a marginal play in a tough spot against a good defense, now do you want to take all those factors, try to overcome those? Oh, yeah, and overcome terrible rain? You don't want to do that, man. So use this weather to maybe help, finalize your player pool, or cut down the number of stacks you're going to have, or decide between this guy and this guy. You can use this weather to really help shape your player pool and make better decisions, and that is all DFS is trying to make the best decisions possible. You do that enough times, you do it long enough, eventually you will hit a good one, so long as you haven't blown through all your money, you fucking deposit king. All right. You want to know something? This guy right here is the sweatiest tryhard in the industry when it comes to PGA, college football, and, of course, NFL. I make all of my own projections and ownership for NFL, NFL Showdown, Main Slate, FanDuel, DraftKings, everything. Matter of fact, you can see it right here. See how it says Degenerate 75 right there? These are my projections up there. I'm letting you see them, you slimy, cheap bastard. And as you can see, they are up. And you're like, hey, what the hell is that thing there? That's called the Solver. That is the best optimizer out there, and I am partnered with them. What I do is I upload my projections and my ownership in there, so now you can take them. Because if you don't know, all DFS is about process and projections. All these picks and plays, you fucking run to the hills when people say that shit. You need to have your process, and you need to have projections you can trust. And then you need an optimizer that can make the best versions of your player pool so that you can compete to win GPPs, right? And I know you're thinking, hey, man, I'm just a casual. I just want a pick or two, all right? Well, I'm just telling you, casual guy, this is why you'll never win. If you don't have good projections and you're not building your own player pool and then putting in them an optimizer and getting the best possible lineups, you cannot sustainably win at this sport. That I promise you. There's too many smart people doing it, right? And you're thinking, I can't afford it, though. It's too much. All the sports. You can go if you just want football, $24.99 a month. If you want all of my sports, college football, PGA, and of course, NFL, not only my projections and my ownership, but also the optimizer itself, $39.99 a month. Laughable compared to everybody else in the industry. Check it out. Use that Touchdown Hoedown symbol right there, and that will link you to my projections. I appreciate you. All right, let's get to the first drawing. All of you on YouTube, I appreciate every single one of you. There was a bunch of you that left a comment. This is to win a $100 ticket with me right now for the Millionaire Maker tomorrow. We will build the ticket together, and you and I will split the winnings. If we win $1 million, I will PayPal you $500,000, I promise. Whatever the hell that is, Damani DFS. That's a good name. It's a good name. I'm going to do a backup. If this guy doesn't reach out to me by 10 a.m. tomorrow, your ass is getting replaced because I'm giving these tickets away. I already got them reserved. So the backup for him, just to be safe, Will's up 3263. That guy flies private jets. All right. Let's get over to it. This is called the Rosetta Stone. This is probably the best tool I have, and it is what I offer that nobody else in this industry does. A place where you can basically have a play calling sheet for every game of the NFL with all the relevant information you need to know to make your picks. Not my picks, not some slapdick's pick on YouTube or on the podcast, but your picks. You need to have relevant information. All of this gets better every single week as we will start adding more stats to it. We will start having targets. We will start having receptions. We will start having percentage of plays on the field. Right? The Rosetta Stone is the nuts. Just ask the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people over on my website about it. All right, let's get through these games. I'm going to touch on all of them, then I'll answer your questions at the end. Of course, we still have 4 more drawings to do, so hang around. Let's get going. Don't forget to hit that like. We're already up to 100 over there. See if we can get to 200 likes. I think 200 is a good goal tonight. All right. First game up, Tennessee and New Orleans. Look, there's a lot to say here, right? Tennessee seems to have be going all in this year. DeAndre Hopkins is there. Treylon Burks is going to be healthy. He does appear as though he's going to play, but there is one small problem. Tennessee sucks at fantasy football, okay? Outside of Derrick Henry, they're just not a good fantasy football team. And I'm just going to tell you, DeAndre Hopkins, this ain't the DeAndre Hopkins of 4 years ago, okay? He's like damaged goods, right? All you got to do is just look at their team total of just a mere 18.8 points. Not a great environment, right? You really got to ask yourself who you're going to play. This is never a game I would consider stacking, but I do think that Derrick Henry and Shig, the tight end, Okonkwo, have a big upside, and they could be great one-off pieces if you think Tennessee's usage is going to be focused through them. New Orleans on the other side, Derek Carr actually seems like he would be a pretty good play. He has, I think, an up-and-coming elite receiver in Chris Olave. Michael Thomas is supposedly back. Jawan Johnson is a freak just waiting to break out. We know how solid Jamal Williams is out of the backfield, so all of those things check the boxes, right? One small problem. A Mormon dude named Taysom Hill who loves to come in and just vulture the shit out of touchdowns. And that's what I would say that's likely, but I would say that is a very real possibility. And you need Derek Carr. When you're playing a flimsy play like Derek Carr, you need every possible point you can get out of him. And if he is getting goal line touches pilfered from him by Taysom Hill, or Taysom Hill comes in and runs a 3rd and 1 from the 30 and busts it to the house, Derek Carr literally loses all of his upside. So it makes him almost unplayable on an otherwise game that I would actually consider him. Sorry, Mormons hate Derek Carr. The next game, I think that this one, I don't think that I'm being super sneaky here by saying that this is a sneaky game. If our boy Anthony Richardson, the rookie out of Florida, can push the tempo of this game, if he's not a complete bust, if the Colts have a decent offense, this game has sneaky shootout potential, right? Because we saw what Jacksonville did. Year 2 under Lawrence, they were so much better. Their offense was so much more improved. And now you have Calvin Ridley, probably a top 10 most talented wide receiver in the NFL. This offense looks set to cook, right? A huge total of 25 points for them. A team that moves the ball relatively quickly, a team that moves the ball very efficiently, and the best thing I could say about him is their usage is pretty condensed. He basically only throws the ball to 4 guys, right? And maybe Zay Jones might even get phased out a little bit this year with Calvin Ridley. But once again, none of this matters if it's already 21-0 in the third quarter, right? If it's 21-0 in the third quarter, Jacksonville loses all of its upside. But if Anthony Richardson is keeping the Colts moving and pushing this game, Jacksonville has that 28, 31, maybe 35-point upside where you really get a nut-type stack out of them, but it's going to be completely dependent on if the Colts can push them. And that's all going to come down to Anthony Richardson. If you didn't see, it appears as though Zach Moss is likely out, which makes Deion Jackson probably mega chalk tomorrow. He is the obvious cheap punt tomorrow at 4,100. He delivered last year when he was the obvious punt play. I think he had something like 28 points one week when he was 41. You know, if you want to trust any of the Colts receivers, more power to you, but I need to see Anthony Richardson complete a forward pass before I can believe it's done. The only reason I think Anthony Richardson might be able to get there on his own is simply because I think he has Jalen Hurts level ability of running. Another game that breaks my heart that it started to get steamed up a little bit throughout the industry is this Tampa Bay Minnesota game. Of course, Justin Jefferson is the best offensive player in the NFL. I will fight you on this if you do not agree with it. But I thought, well, how can I play him to be different? And I came up with the idea of I will stack my boy Baker Mayfield, Boomer fucking Sooner. I will stack him, and then I will run it back with Jefferson. Nobody will have that. But this is actually starting into quite a popular play. Mayfield is a serviceable NFL quarterback, whether you want to accept it or not. They have a 20-point total, and they're probably going to have to pass to keep up in this game. Factor in that he has Godwin and Evans, who are two very legit wide receivers, and Rachaad White, who is a very serviceable running back. They could push Minnesota, and we know what Justin Jefferson does in shootouts. He's like an auto 30 burger. So now the question is this Baker Mayfield steam really going to be real? And if it is, can you still play it? I was all about it, but now if I got to play him at 3%, I think I'd rather just go play another punty stack, right? I wanted my Baker Mayfield at like 0.5%. But I will say Jefferson and Madison and Hawkinson are some really interesting run backs in that one. And when you save that much money at quarterback, making them lineups get real fun, especially if you mix them in with my other Sooner, Marvin Mims at 3,000. All right, let's move on to Arizona-Washington. I think this is a disgusting game. Kyler Murray is, of course, out. He's going to be out for a hot minute. Joshua Dobbs is starting. You want to know the secret to Arizona? Don't fucking play him. There's the secret to it, okay? Washington, people are drinking the Washington Kool-Aid. I was too in the preseason. I think they will be good, but I just don't think there's any real reason for them to push the tempo in this game. I think it's going to be a boring, sloggy type game, 21-13 type game, right? And 21-13, maybe Howell gets there if he throws all 3 touchdowns and manages to find 300 yards. But it's just not likely in this kind of game environment. I will say he is very nicely stackable with like an Antonio Gibson and a Johan Dotson, who is a very cheap triple stack that could get there. And, if they could just find 28 points, could be a nut stack that no one would consider. From there, San Francisco, Pittsburgh, 2 teams that I'm pretty bullish on this year. I actually like both of their offenses. I just don't like them this week. We already talked about the rain at the offset, and now we are talking about 2 teams that are notoriously slow and play lots of defense, right? I'm a Kenny Pickett buyer, but I just don't think he's going to get it done against the San Francisco defense. Although I will tell you, I love George Pickens and Deontay Johnson. I'm very warm to them, and to be honest, they're underpriced. But once again, it comes back to the matchup. So I'm really trying to figure out a creative way to get Pittsburgh into my player pool. But God, I got to tell you, the big guy's effing struggling. As far as San Francisco goes, I just think there's too many mouths to feed. Deebo Samuel is grossly underpriced in my opinion. He should be every bit of 6,400 on this one. McCaffrey at 8,700. I think this is going to be one of the few times you'll ever get McCaffrey at around 10%. So you might want to take advantage of that because you know he's going to be over 20 the rest of the season, right? But between him, Samuel, Ayuk, and Kittle, 1 or 2 or 3 of those guys is going to get left out, right? So trying to pick the right one is going to be very tough. And I bet Elijah Mitchell probably has a bigger role than you have. So by and large, I think you need to get creative with this game. It is not one that I am looking to target. But quite contrary to that, probably my favorite game on the entire slate is this one, right? This one doesn't make a lot of sense because you wouldn't think this is a stackable game. Cleveland's that slow team with Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and they run the ball and they're slow and they don't score. This ain't 2021, brother. This is 2023. Now they have Deshaun Watson, and yes, he sucked last year. He sucked real bad. But is he going to suck forever? Maybe, but maybe not. And so Deshaun Watson stack is probably the sneakiest stack out there because he has really great stacking options. Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, David Njoku are all great. And here's the best part. You have the best run back options all day long with guys like Mixon, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins, right? Whichever one of those is going to push the pace. If this is easily a game that could get to 31-28, you see 28 points in the fourth quarter, and it just completely breaks the slate. This is a game that I don't think enough people are giving attention to because of the moderate total, which isn't even really that low. 47.5 is certainly an above average thing. The real question is, can Deshaun Watson go back to being a star, or is he just left to be a scrub for the rest of his life? Carolina and Atlanta, let me just go ahead and tell you, man, these rookie quarterbacks, I never thought I'd say this. I think Anthony Richardson's the only one that's even playable tomorrow. Bryce Young, they're just not going to be good. Carolina is not going to be good. Look at the totals on these teams. I know they got a cupcake to start with Atlanta, but they're still not going to be good. It does appear as though Adam Thielen's going to play, which I think is very good news for Bryce Young. But to me, it gets rid of the only piece I was really considering, which was Jonathan Mingo. I was interested in Jonathan Mingo as a punt if Thielen was out, but now that he's playing, I feel like Thielen will almost certainly get the most targets. Hayden Hurst could be a nice punt option at tight end, but do you really want a punt tight end in an offense that is probably at most going to score 21 points? That's your call. Not really for me. Heading over to Atlanta, they have all the star names you could ever want. Well, let me rephrase that. All the up-and-coming star names you could ever want, but Desmond Ridder sucks. Bijan, there's no way he is going to get over 20 touches. People are saying he's going to get 25 touches. Dream the fuck on. Drake London, will he not be a bust this year? I don't know. Kyle Pitts, I think, is the most obvious bounce-back candidate ever this year, but I think he scorned a lot of people last year who just kept going to that Pitts well and got burned. You want to get creative with this game, go ahead, but I think there's better games to definitely stack. I might be just trying to get a little one-off piece in this game. Houston and Baltimore, the only game we have designated as a potential blowout. As you can see, a 10-point line in the NFL is pretty significant, right? Houston's real bad. You think Bryce Young's going to struggle? CJ Stroud's going to CJ suck, all right? That I promise you. Dameon Pierce seems to be about their only redeeming characteristic of this offense, and outside of him, even with him, you don't play him. I could not play any Texans. I mean, if you're playing in a million-person GBP, maybe you want to get weird and play him. I get it. That does make sense. But like, if you're playing a $100 single entry, why the hell would you consider Houston, right? There's just such better spots to get your money in. On the flip side of that, Baltimore does have one of the highest totals on this slate. Baltimore does have electric playmakers, and Baltimore is super stackable with Lamar, Zay Flowers, and Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews is underpriced and is clearly the best tight end play on this slate. However, even though this is a team with a high total and a very concentrated offense, the one concern I have is, are they even trying after the third quarter? Is this game already 21-0, 21-3, 24-7 in the third quarter, and they're just running the ball to J.K. Dobbins every play and then just punting and playing defense? Because that is a very real consideration, that the pace of this game has no chance of getting pushed. And at $8,000, you need your quarterback getting pushed the whole four quarters, right? You need those Mahomes shootout games, those Josh Allen shootout games. And I don't see hardly any chance that this game is a shootout game for Lamar Jackson. So maybe the play is here, you just go play a weird one-off Zay Flowers, hope he catches a bomb, or maybe just play J.K. Dobbins and hope he just vultures all the touchdowns from our boy Lamar. Green Bay, Chicago, no one's going to play this game, and I think people were warm to this game until we got the news that Christian Watson is out, and it appears as though Romeo Doubs is at best 50-50 to play. And now that you have these offensive weapons, a lot of the excitement about Jordan Love and this Green Bay offense is now gone, as they are missing arguably two of their three best offensive players. With that in mind, though, it does make guys like Aaron Jones more appealing, right? Aaron Jones is going to get work out of the backfield. Aaron Jones is going to be in a competitive environment. And most importantly, I bet you're going to see him flexed out and catching some passes out of the slot because they have to run somebody out there. If Dobbs is out, I think that Aaron Jones becomes a guy you're really going to want to play. And I think Jaden Reed now becomes the number one wide receiver. That may only equal something like 7 targets, but 7 targets at $3,000, especially if he falls in the box one time, you get in there. And if you really, really want to be a slime ball and do a Jordan Love stack, I don't hate it. You could go Love, Jones, Reed. You could go Love, Reed, Musgrave, the rookie that everybody loves. If you think this game gets pushed and it could just be a 24-23 type game and they're moving the ball up and down the field, I think that there's worse games to stack. That is why we have this labeled as a sneaky game, because not a fucking soul is going to be on this game. If you're trying to win a big GPP, this is the kind of slimy, stackable game you could play that not a soul will be on, okay? And just like with the Colts, it's going to come down to, can the Bears push them? Is Justin Fields going to take that next step this year? Is he going to really become a very good quarterback, not just a guy that busts the occasional big play? If he can, I think this game has big time scoring written all over it. Khalil Herbert seems like he's going to be leading the backfield. I think at 5,300 with all these other values, you can play Khalil Herbert and you're going to get him. I'm at 5% ownership, which is ridiculously low for a guy that has that much upside, right? So I think maybe the play is you go play a punt running back, but you call him Khalil Herbert, not Deion Jackson or Jamal Williams, right? Just take the ownership discount. From there, if you do think Justin Fields learned how to throw a forward pass, which I have my skepticism if he did, I think DJ Moore is the one that makes the most sense, and I think he's stackable. But let's face it, DJ Moore at 6,100 for the Bears, that is overpriced. So you're going to get him for marbles at ownership, right? Which might be the most important thing. I think one of the two most popular stacks tomorrow is certainly going to be Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. It's going to be him or Herbert. Everybody loves to stack Jalen Hurts. The guy is just like an auto 20 burger. Oh, he played terrible. He only got 23 points. And then when he plays great, he gets 35 points, right? Jalen Hurts is a nuts play. Problem is, 7,800 ain't cheap. And then you start wanting to stack him. Goddard at tight end is not cheap at 5,000. And of course, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith are both super expensive in the 7,000s. So you really, unless you want to completely commit to this Philadelphia Eagles, it's almost impossible impossible to stack Hurts, right? Unless you want to do some weird like Hurts Swift and hope he throws a screen touchdown to him or something like that, runs a couple in. The problem with Jalen Hurts is he becomes very, very difficult to stack, and I'm never a big fan. Even with a guy as talented as Jalen Hurts, I'm just not a big fan of running a naked quarterback in the NFL. You can do that stupid shit in college football. You shouldn't be doing it in the NFL. The plays are too finite, and you need that correlation between your receivers and your quarterback that leads to double scores, right? When your quarterback throws that touchdown to that wide receiver. Plus, all of this is dependent on the Patriots being able to push the Eagles. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I have feelings that Ramondre Stevenson is going to be limited tomorrow, maybe out, because the Patriots made some weird call-ups today from their practice squad, and Ramondre Stevenson might be limited or might even be out tomorrow. It might be one of those surprise things that happens to us. Mac Jones is not particularly good. People are excited about Juju Smith-Schuster. What the fuck ever. Look, maybe the Patriots will push them, but I'm just going to tell you, if there's a team, if I was making a list of 5 teams that aren't going to push the Eagles, the Patriots would be on that list, you motherfather. Moving on, I think we're to afternoon games, right? Oh, that was an afternoon game too. Oh, shit, we're well into the afternoon games. I don't even keep track of time. I don't know. Maybe we didn't update the times, or maybe there's 5 afternoon games tomorrow. I don't even know what day of the week it is. I'm pretty sure it's Saturday because my Sooners are on. Can't even watch my Sooners. 209 people in here. Make sure you hit the like, you motherfathers. We're trying to get to 200 before we get out of here. Let me get a swig of Topo Chico before, out of my bottle, although I should be drinking it out of my cup because we're about to talk about Cooper Cup. Topo, reach out to your boy and sponsor me. All right, here we go. The Rams in Seattle. Look, this is a game that Seattle, if they can get pushed, I think Seattle probably scores the most points on this slate if the Rams can push them, because I am a believer in Seattle's offense. Problem is there's a lot of mouth to feed. You have Kenneth Walker, who is going to lead the backfield, but I don't underestimate Zach Charbonnet, the rookie out of UCLA. He is going to have an impact. He is going to be doing some third down work, and he could limit the upside of Kenneth Walker just a hair. From there, if you do think it's going to play more like a passing game, well, Jackson Smith-Njigba, JSN, is back, and that now makes them have 3 legit receivers between Lockett and Metcalf and JSN, right? So between those 3, that's a lot of mouths to feed. And then don't forget about the old slapdick himself, Noah Fant. So I do think they can score the most points, but I will say they're a very difficult team to stack because their usage is not so concentrated. They like to spread it around, and there's a lot of mouths to feed there, bro Cephas. The Rams, on the other hand, if you haven't heard, Cooper Kupp is on the IR. He is going to miss the first 4 weeks of the season. And because of that, I think that's going to make everybody run from the Rams. Nobody wants to touch them without Cooper Kupp. But don't forget, Tyler Higbee is a very serviceable tight end, and I think that you could probably expect somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 targets for him, right? And with that, even though he is overpriced, I still think he could get there. Furthermore, Matthew Stafford is the easiest quarterback on the slate to stack because all of his receivers are like dick cheap. Van Jefferson is a guy we have seen is not an elite wide receiver, but he can get it done, right? We have seen DeMarcus Robinson. We saw him back with the Chiefs, and Tutu Atwell has also played and done well. But don't forget, they have this rookie, Puka Nacua from BYU, another Mormon. The Mormons are running wild tonight, and he might be the sneaky play. But all of this, I think Cam Akers might be the forgotten guy here. I think if the Rams keep it close, they're going to do it largely on the back of a good running game, and that will, of course, be led by Cam Akers. I think he's interesting. Everybody's favorite chalky game, Miami and the Chargers. I thought that this game, every person was going to be 20% owned, but when I ran ownership today, I was quite surprised to see this game is not near as owned as I thought. It has the highest total on the slate. It has 2 competitive fast offenses, and it has a competitive total, and it's in the afternoon, and it's in a dome. That's like the holy trinity of things that you want in a shootout game, and you have it. This game has everything, and I can't believe it's not higher owned. Running a Tua stack tomorrow, weirdly enough, is contrarian. What the fuck? Right? I think most people want to come into this game and play Mostert, the running back for the Dolphins. He seems as though he is going to be leading that backfield. I do think Devin Achane is going to have a role, but is not going to be challenging for near as many touches as Mostert. They are going to ease him in and bring him up to pace. The great thing about the Dolphins is they're going to throw the ball to 2 damn people. It's going to be to Waddle and Hill. Nobody else. That's the only. There's other people on that team. Are you sure? You're sure? Okay, guy over there, guy on the wall said that there's other people on that team. I refuse to believe it, right? They don't even have Gesicki, the token tight end, anymore. Okay, now they just have the guy that'll smite you down. On the other side, if you've been listening to me do best ball or any of my preseason shit, I'm drinking the Justin Herbert Kool-Aid, okay? I am down in Guyana, and I am drunk on Justin Herbert Kool-Aid. It's actually touchdown flavored. And so here's what you want to know about Justin Herbert. He's fucking awesome, and he's underpriced. He's in a great matchup, and he has unbelievable weapons. Okay, I'm in. Like, what are we doing? I thought he would be 18, 19%, and I currently have him at 10%. And here's the best part. He is super stackable, right? You can put him with Eckler, because Eckler does catch the ball in the backfield, and those two play nicely together. It's not one of those quarterback-running back combos that doesn't play nicely. Keenan Allen, overpriced, and because Keenan Allen's overpriced, I think he actually does become playable in a stack with Herbert. But the real play is Mike Williams. Mike Williams is going to tear it up this season. I'm all in on Mike Williams. Maybe he won't get it done this week, but Mike Williams, I am a buyer. Herbert and Williams will break the slate of NFL this year. Maybe not week 1, but they will this year. And don't forget, Josh Palmer is listed as a starter, but they gave a lot of draft capital to Quentin Johnson, the rookie wide receiver out of TCU. I would not be surprised if he got 2 or 3 deep targets tomorrow. He catches 1 or 2 of those, falls into the box. He could be a slate breaker. And then, of course, the always reliable and always tilting Gerald Everett, who always seems like he's going to have a good game and then somehow never does. It's incredible he does that. A true slapdick. And our last game, the Raiders versus the Broncos. First of all, you want to know, Derek Carr's gone, okay? Now they got a guy named Jimmy Garoppolo, and let's face it, everybody hates Jimmy Garoppolo. Nobody likes him, okay? But the Raiders do still have a couple megastars in Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, guys who can get it done. If they can get it done with Derek Carr, they can get it done with Jimmy Garoppolo, okay? Furthermore, they are going to be reliant on those guys. They have a decent team total, and I think that this game could be more competitive than we think. Does Russell Wilson have one good year left in him, or is the dude just dust? If you think Russell Wilson's dust, I think you should stay away from this game because I think this is going to be like a 16-13 game, right? If you think Russell Wilson has a little bit left in the tank, it wouldn't surprise me if we get one of those games that has 6 or 7 touchdowns in it. And if that's the case, well, then you have all kinds of appealing pieces, right? Javonte Williams, what is going to be his role? I personally think they're going to ease him back, but the coaches are saying he's going to probably be getting a full run. If he gets 18 touches at 5,700 with how electric he is, I think he is a very acceptable play. But the wide receiver situation is the one I'm monitoring most closely, right? If Jerry Jeudy is out, Marvin Mims, the rookie out of OU, Boomer fucking Sooner, is the stone man at 3,000. He's been getting talked up all offseason. He will legit be 20 or 30% owned if we get word that Jeudy is officially out. So I think in that case, the real play is just go play Courtland Sutton. Not enough people will realize that Courtland Sutton's value goes up even more whenever Jerry Jeudy is out versus than what it does for Marvin Mims. So yes, there is value to be picked up there, but just pick up that value different than everybody else is doing it. That would be my advice to you. And lastly, don't fall for the Greg Dulcich trick. Adam Troutman's going to be the guy starting. He's going to be the guy playing the majority of the plays. And a great DFS player once told me, you can't score points if you're not on the field. And once he said that to me, it just rang true. I was like, you're right, guy who just told me that. All right, that is a breakdown of the slate. Get your questions in over here. I will answer them. Let's get up to 200 likes over there. And while we're at it, let's go do our Twitter. This is to build a $100 ticket with me tonight. This is for all of you that liked and retweeted on Twitter. I'm going to draw a winner and a backup. Let's see. Our winner is Sharks Fans SD, and a quick backup. In case that guy doesn't reach out to me by 10 a.m., I want this second person to reach out to me, and the $100 ticket's yours because I am playing these $100 tickets, motherfathers. It is KDog721. I know that guy will reach out to me. There you go. That's my backup. By the way, backups, if you win the other drawings, you can just have those too. Okay? Hey, let's get to the last drawing. I'm going to draw 3 names, but before I do, I got to walk you through something. Come over to my site, dgen75.com. It blew up during golf season. It is blowing up during college football, and I can promise you the NFL product is going to be like nothing else. It is a place where we teach you process. We give you the projections. We give you the tools you need, the Rosetta Stone, everything you need, and we have a community. And we do all of this without price gouging you. We do it so that a normal DFS player can afford to do it and have all the same tools and resources that the top players have. I encourage you to come check it out. Okay? If you don't believe me, here, this is just from this golf season, okay? Here's a collage. 100,000, 100,000, 20, 30, 25, 20, 20, 50. Notice, my name's not on there at all. These are just people from my community flying the flag. 7,000, 6,000, 15,000, 15,000. You're like, wow, you guys had a good season. Oh, no, we're just getting started. 200,000, 90,000, 50,000, 50,000, 50,000, 25,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 18,5, 16,9, 15, 10. All right, we're done. Oh, wait, there's more. 12, 5, 10, 3, 3, 3, 25, 200,000 again, 7,000, 10,000, 10,000, 7,000, 2,500, 1,500, 1,000. All right, I'm done. No, wait, there's more. 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,500, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 44, 44, 44, 44, 44, 44. Okay, we're done. Oh, shit, there's one more. 3,000, 3,000, 2,500, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000. Look, guys, the poor editor that I made put all these together, he just from these screenshots, screenshots, right? We couldn't even fit them all on there. After 5, he's like, if you don't let me stop, I'm going to fucking quit. I said, okay, you can stop at 5. We estimated about $3.5 million in wins. We're just a little itty bitty site going up against all the big tout sites. And look at all these motherfathers flying the flag, winning money. That is just from this year at PGA. Wait until you see what we are going to do at college football and NFL. It is not about me. It is about us. It is about celebrating the community. It's about having your process and letting it win for you and not trusting some fucking slapdicks picks. If you're like, hey, man, all that sounds really cool. I want to sign up, but I'm a poor. I can't afford it. I get it. Sign up for my newsletter right here. It is in the description of this video. Let the editor know you signed up, and I will give you a free week on my website because I know once you try it, you'll want to fucking come back every single time. All right, editor, let's get to the drawing. You know what, editor? I want to do one drawing right now. I want to do another one at 7:40, and I want to do another one at 7:45. So right now, editor, draw the first name to win a $100 ticket for the Millionaire Maker right here with me, okay? We've already given away 2, the YouTube and the Twitter one. This is our first winner. It is David McHenry. That guy is magical. He actually just sponsored a giveaway the other day, so that's good karma for that guy. At 7:40, we're going to do another one, and at 7:45, we're going to do the last one. That'll let me get to some questions, and I'm getting the shit out of here by like 7:50. I'm already sweating balls like a whore in church. All right, let's get going. Get over to the questions. If you ask me who I'm playing or if I like this guy, I'm going to tell you to fuck off, and then I'm going to boot you. I'm not here for I'm not a fucking tout, okay? Leave the touting to the touts. Is this a Carrie Underwood fan club stream? It can be, brother. It can be. Actually, I've been rocking out to Mariah Carey all day. All right. Heavier lean to late game stacks, Mike. I don't like to get caught up, and my stacks got to be earlier. It's going to be late. But here's what I do love to do, Mike. I like to build my stacks with a plan, right? So the nice thing about having a late stack is you can look at your peripheral pieces early and say, oh shit, I'm doing good. I'm going to go with this chalkier stack in the afternoon, right? Or you can say, oh shit, I'm doing terrible. I need to switch to this punt stack. That's the one thing I like to consider. So it's not, I don't worry about what time my stack is. I worry about how I can use that to my advantage, right? So if I'm playing an afternoon stack, a lot of times I will play my peripheral pieces in the earlier games or vice versa, right? Moving on. Let's go. How do you like the Tampa Bay, Minnesota game stack? Brian, I thought I was being a sneaky fuck, and now I've heard like 4 different shows talk about it. So now I think it might get chalky. You put that idea out there of like, hey, you could do this and get Justin Jefferson. Everybody's like, oh, okay, I'm in Raggy. All right, do you have a favorite NFL team? Probably the Bills. I grew up liking them, but honestly, I don't give a shit anymore. What are the chances a rookie breaks the slate? That's a really good question. I would say small, but if it is going to be one, I bet it's a wide receiver, and I don't even know who it's going to be. Looking for questions. How does Mingo sound for tomorrow? How good? I mean, now that I've got word that it sounds like Thielen's playing, I like him quite a bit less. I think he will definitively be a number 2 target behind him. What is the over-owned stack that's going to get too much ownership? I think, boy, that's a good question. You never want to say that just a Jalen Hurts stack is ever going to be over-owned. So I will go with, what is one that's going to be? Sam Howell. Sam Howell is a disgusting, like 7% is what I have that at. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, I like Sam Howell. I'm a buyer. But like to play him at 7%, which doesn't sound high, but it's legit probably the 3rd or 4th highest quarterback, get the fuck out of here. Top 5 slapdick plays, I don't want the chalky ones. When do you know to flex a wide receiver versus running back? David, I kind of just look at the whole of my lineup, and I try to find that running back or wide receiver. Can I get it to correlate with any of my other plays? Is it a mini correlation? Is it a run back on a stack? Something like that, right? Or sometimes I look and I say, God, I have all early guys. Maybe I go ahead and put an afternoon guy here, and it's only wide receivers available in the afternoon that I can afford, right? Who started seeing that chubby face? Somebody is, I promise you. Do you usually pick a home team for defense? Yes, that's a great point. I don't really give a shit about defenses. I kind of just pick whatever's left over my salary. That's who I play. But I always give a lean towards home teams. They just seem to get more pick sixes. I have no evidence of that, but it just seems to be true. Do you correlate your running backs with defenses? I don't hate it. It does make sense. Defenses that are typically doing good typically have running backs who are running the ball out in the 4th quarter, which gives them a chance to break a big run and score a touchdown. Are we checking the weather? Oh, we already did, pal. I assume you pick cash game play because high floors. Yes, that's exactly right. When you're picking cash game in NFL, you want the higher floor guys, but don't be afraid to play some guys with some high ceilings, but they also need to have that high floor too. Oh, Alabama luck sack and piece of shits. All right, best $3,000 receiver, Marvin Mims, if Jerry Jeudy's out. What's the weather outlook? Already went over it. Go watch the show. Do you like Chubb? Oh, I love the Chubb. Let's see. Got 739 editor. Get ready to queue up that next one. I know we're having a running back in the flex position to recommend in college football. How do you in the NFL? I almost always prefer wide receivers to running backs. When all things are equal, you'll almost always see me pick a wide receiver over a running back in the NFL simply just because of this. Because there's so many fewer plays that PPR, the point per reception that wide receivers get over running back, is very big. Editor, go ahead and draw that second name. This is for a second $100 ticket from the chat. We will be doing 3 total. We'll be doing another one at 7:45. If your asses can hold on, you better get me to 200 likes, okay? Oh, by the way, Crypto Don Juan, that guy, he's magical. By the way, the sponsors of this is King Gordon and King of the North, a couple of them guys that won a bunch of money this year. So thank you guys for sponsoring this, right? All right, we still got one more to come. And then, editor, remind me, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get a hold of all these guys, but just in case, let's do a general backup, right? He was actually for the Confederacy during the Civil War. Yep, general backup. Yep, always trying to flank people. Very weird maneuver. All right, have 6 tickets for the Millie. Would you pick a low-owned stack and go? Yeah, I would pick 1 stack with my 6 tickets, and I'd build 6 different versions of that stack. Fucking play to win. Don't hedge your bets and go with 6 different stacks. Pick 1 stack and build 6 different versions of it. I feel strongly about this. Sneaky tight end tomorrow? Oh, yeah, I got one. Go watch another show. All right. Sorry, moving on. Thoughts on Reed for Green Bay being a good play? I think I'm going to play him, Joanne. I think everybody's going to play Marvin Mims. So instead, I think I'm probably going to play go play him instead. I think that's what I'm going to do. Plus, I'm kind of trying to talk myself into some Jordan Love stacks. It's pretty gross, but I'm almost there. I just need 1 swift kick in the nuts. I'll get there. Let's see. Other questions. That's not a question. All right. Do you use variance at all using the solver? I do. I usually start about 20%. And the reason that I use variance is I don't want to just go straight off projections. I think projections are essential to good lineup making, but I don't think they're the end all be all. Part of it has to be balancing the exposure of your player pool. And if you don't turn up the variance a little bit, Phil, you're not going to be able to get that you're not going to be able to get that proper exposure to all the players you want. That's what I would say to that, right? Big guy, do you typically stack in tiers? Yes, I think that's one of the best strategy that not enough people use in tiers is you still want to stack, right? You want to play lower owned pieces in tiers, especially if you can get them stacked. That is the best way to do it. Which high-owned guy is going to flop tomorrow? Ooh, you guys are coming in hot with the questions. Let me get over here. A high-owned guy that's going to flop tomorrow. Well, it ain't going to be Justin Jefferson. That I promise you, Bob. Let's see. A high-owned guy that's going to flop tomorrow. I was really surprised. There's not that many high-owned guys. I got it. It's the Commanders defense. There you go. Thoughts on not only stacking a game with a few players, but your thoughts on stacking a game with 5+ players. I think 4 is usually about as much as I like to go with. You have to be absolutely in love with a game to do 5. Sometimes I will do 5, Andrew, but typically 4. At what point before lock are you checking overlays? The 30 minutes leading up to it is usually the time. I've been checking them every 30 minutes to see the pace at which they're filling. Then I can just extrapolate out the math. If you're over on the Discord, Mike, I'll probably send out a message to everybody letting them know what's likely to overlay and what those contests are they should play. How many QBs are you usually playing in your 150 pool? I've always found the number best for me is 5, right? I like about 30 versions of all 5 of them, which is pretty aggressive, but once again, I'm playing to fucking win. I'm not trying to get a bunch of min cashes. Do we ever consider the weather? That's right, we do, pal. Let's see. Do you set a max ownership? So Wombat, I don't worry about like cumulative ownership, which you're probably asking. I'm more, you know me, I'm a product ownership guy. If you have 1 or 2 low-owned pieces in your lineup, you'll be so much different than everybody else. You'll probably be okay. Let's see. Moving on. Editor, don't forget at 7:45, we're going to do another one. Do you believe in bringbacks and bigger GPPs? Yes, I do. Once again, I'm a bigger fan of bringbacks in NFL than I am in college football, and the answer is simple. Is because there are so few games in the NFL that shoot out compared to NFL that you really need to have the game with as many people in it if one of those games takes off. You really need that, right? How would you attack the super flex tomorrow? Well, there is no super flex tomorrow, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. If you're playing 5 or less single entry kick in the nuts contest, by the way, 2 questions, motherfathers, 2 questions. If you're playing in 5 or less single entry kick in the nuts contest, how many lineups did you create in the solver? I always like to build them all in the solver, maybe build 20, and then go pick the 5 you like. That's a little pro tip for you. How often does NFL chalk compare to college chalk? NFL chalk does not get there as much as college chalk because college chalk, it's usually a different quality in players, and they get so much more volume, it's hard for them to not just fucking accidentally get there. You know what I'm saying? Max ownership for big GPPs. I don't worry about max ownership. Brevel, do you believe in the running back defense correlation? I don't mind it. Like, when I can, I do that, but I don't go out of my way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time with my defense, I'm just playing. If I have 3,100 left over, I play whatever defense is 3,100. If I have 2,300, I play whatever defense is 2,300. All right. Have to pivot off chalk donkeys. J. Will and Jackson get the cost savings. We don't play donkeys with low ceilings, do we? No, I don't, Jay Reed. And I think that's a good idea. Cheap wide receivers. 3,000 chalk wide receivers seem to blow up in people's faces way more often than anybody wants to remember. Herbert going to be over-owned? Surprisingly, no. I'm at 10%, and that is way lower than I thought he would be. What about Deontay Johnson? I like him, just not in this matchup. He's way too cheap, though, so he could get 12 targets and 10 catches for 100 yards and have a very big game. I think that's a real possibility, and the game doesn't even have to shoot out for him to do that. Looking for questions here. Broncos Raiders, a sneaky stack, or am I being a dumb donkey? No, I think I had it as a sneaky stack, didn't I? Did I? Yeah, I got it as a sneaky stack. I'm there with you, Jason. I smell what you're stepping in, bro, Cephas. Do you like one-offs or prefer secondary correlations? So I like to do a stack, one secondary correlation between two guys, and then 2 or 3 one-offs. That's usually how I play it. Editor, I got 745. Let's go ahead and draw that last name to build a lineup with me. Our last $100 winner, and then editor, draw one more just as a backup in case any of these 3 people don't reach out to me. Caddy has won. Caddy, you were the winner of the 3rd ticket. Don't forget about our ones. Go ahead and draw backup, editor. And Jake, you get the backup. If any of those 3 people don't reach out to me, it's yours. I already have backups on the other ones. All right. Hey, we're at 172 likes. Give me the 200, you motherfathers. God dang, this chat is unbelievably long. Holy shit, what have I done? Editor, next week we got to do some new rule, man. Too many people asking too many questions. Two questions or a bot fucking boots them and sends them a hateful email. All right, 30 lineups, 3 stacks. Yeah, I think that's okay. 30 for 3 is fine. Touchdown, FanDuel, GPP, high dollar. Just go. I don't know. Go fucking figure it out. I haven't even looked at FanDuel yet. Eckler or Chargers wide receivers? I'm a Chargers wide receiver guy, but I don't love Keenan Allen. So basically, I'm just like Mike Williams. I don't know. I really want to figure that out. I just kind of want to play Justin Herbert and Mike Williams together, but I think I'm going to just play Mike Williams as a one-off. I got a lot of thinking to do tonight. 20 lineup player pool. I would be at 2 stacks, and I would probably have a total player pool of about 20 guys between all the positions. I mean, that's not counting defense. Moving on. Superflex. What is this Superflex talks? I thought that was just Thursday through Monday, that form, right? All right, got projections and the solver. What tourney structure would you use? 50-50? Yeah, that's a great question, Paul. When I'm building mine, I always like to do 50% projections, 50% ceilings, but you also got to remember that I am building for GPPs, right? Let's see. Moving on. Lot of fucking questions tonight. Would it be better just to play an afternoon slate, or early slate instead of having to deal? No, I really think that the late swap is one of the best strategies you can use, Eric G. So that's why I like to play the main slate, because I build my lineups with a plan that if this is going this way, I am now going to, and then I will go have a plan for the afternoon. So I basically am playing afternoon slate. I'm just doing it with my early lineups because I'm making so many changes, right around 3 o'clock, right before the afternoon game's locked, because we're here in the Lord's time zone. How many people did you hear talk about false starting at work? Seeing it's just me and the guy in the back, and I haven't let him talk in 3 years. No one was fucking talking about it. Stochastic all over Baker. There you go. That wasn't even one of the ones I was referencing, so everybody's over Baker. When playing tiers, do you just stack teams? No, I try to get lower owned guys, and I try to get at least 1 stack in there. Is my 2 if I can, right? Are you still adding player props to the product? Yeah, we have some guys posting them. We're just not doing it every day, because here's the problem with doing those player props is often by the time we get them up and do a weekly letter, the numbers have changed so much. But we do have people posting them in there. Yep, it's in the props room. If Dobbs plays, fade Jones. Wait, why would I wait? If Dobbs plays, that would make me want to play. Wait. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I don't know if you need to fade him. I really like Aaron Jones a lot more if Dobbs is out. Doesn't mean you can't play him if he plays, though. Best under-owned stack? I don't know. Jimmy Garoppolo. There you go. Go stack him with Devontae Adams. Not a soul will play that, all right? Let's see. Moving on. Bama got a penalty on an O-lineman downfield. Well, every time those guys stand up, they're downfield, if you know what I mean. They're fat. Okay, Musgrave's a good play or too chalky? You know what? Let me go look. I'm always warm to Musgrave. You ain't got to sell my ass on Musgrave. I only got him at 8%, which is relatively high for a tight end, but, man, I'm kind of a buyer. If I get word that Dobbs is out, maybe just take some Jordan Love and mix him with some Jones and some Reed and some Musgrave. I don't know, man. I'm kind of feeling that. Run it back with a Khalili Herbs, with a little Khalili Herbs. All right, how do you feel about Johnson from New Orleans, favorite target for Carr? I mean, I don't mind it. I just worry about that other fucking tight end coming in and not throwing him the ball. A little tight end on tight end hate. Let's see. Billy says, high owned, who is going to flop? Jamal Williams. Billy is part of my team. He is not an idiot. I would listen to him. All right, what do you think of Evan Hull? I think that if he were the Titanic, he'd have a huge dent in himself. Do you think he'll get at least 6 targets? I don't buy that. 6 is a big old number for a rookie out of fucking Northwestern, okay? Maybe he'd get 6 targets if it was reading a book. All right, do variance overall lineups or each position differently in the solver? Do variance overall lineups or each position differently? Overall, Lorenzo. All right, do you have a team total ownership? I mean, I try to stay under 150, but once again, it's more about product ownership than it is cumulative ownership. If you don't understand what that is, go look at the archives in my Discord. I explain it, because that's what real smart people do, is they're looking at product ownership. It is okay to play chalk so long as you are playing some one-off pieces that get you that are low owned, that get you a low product ownership. Do you drink ranch water doing NFL or just PGA? I'm done drinking, man. I'm a gym bro, bruh. My name is Jimbo the Gym Bro. Is Oklahoma going to lose to SMU? I'm not watching the game, so thanks for spoiling it, dickie. Let's see. Actually, there's a super flex contest next. Oh, I didn't even know that. There you go. All right, guys, now that he just said that, I want to go fucking check in on the OU game. I guess they're not doing well, so I'm going to go check on that and while I'm winning some GPPs. I guess I'd rather win a GPP than my Sooners win because they just fucking suck. So it's been real. Don't forget, Tuesday I'll be back with Tambo, probably on Ship It Nation this week, so be looking out for our preview show. If you're on the Discord, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m., I will be going live. It will be for the Not Pours over on my Discord. Come check out the website. You will not regret it. Remember, if you sign up for the newsletter, the editor will get you a free week. Just simply reach out to him at the DGen Editor on Twitter, and he will get back to you. I appreciate all of you being here, and don't forget to reach out. I can't wait to make those $100 tickets and go chase $1 million with you tomorrow. This has been fun, but the big guy's got to run. We'll talk to you later, you motherfather.